We are RVA.
You are BA.
We are BA. I am BA. You are BA. We are BA. I am BA. We are BA. We are BA. We are BA. We are BA.
Good evening, Broken Arrow. Welcome to a special graduation edition of the Pulse. I'm Dylan Rivera.
And I'm Melanie Arrow. And we've got 70 minutes worth of original ArrowVision content produced by our students and staff for your enjoyment.
It's been an amazing year here at Broken Arrow High School. We are here tonight to bring you the best highlights and stories from the 2017-18 school year. In fact, the video you just saw before we started captured many of those memories. And you can own that video and much more by purchasing this year's BAHS Class of 2018 Senior Video Series for just $20. Order forms will be included in all seniors' graduation packets at diploma pickup. You can also place your order at batigerthreads.com. Stay tuned to @BAHSPulse social media for more information.
From the pride of Broken Arrow winning their 25th OBA state championship, 16th in a row, and finishing a very close runner-up at the Bands of America National Championships, to the BAHS Drama Department setting their attendance records for their amazing performance of Mary Poppins, and also winning the 1-act state championship. ArrowVision is there to cover it all.
So tonight, before we graduate the class of 2018, we want you to relive those memories and much more. First up on tonight's show, we take a look back at one of the biggest stories of the year, our very own Mrs. Donna Grottle winning State Teacher of the Year. Check it out.
And now our 2018 Teacher of the Year, Donna Grottle.
Well, it's kind of been a whirlwind. It was a little nerve-wracking to have to sit and wait, and just not really uncomfortable, but just a unique situation to be sitting on stage and waiting to hear them announce which one of the 12 finalists would be the winner. So it's kind of like Miss America, I guess, you know? Probably the main reason that I really wanted to win this award was for my school district, because of this community and the type of people that I've had the privilege to work with, and in particular Dr. Dunlop. I just really thought this is going to be great for Broken Arrow. And not so much for myself, but representing all of us as the community, because that is how I teach. That is how we've done the things we've done. It's not just me, it's been my colleagues, it's been my administration, it's been the district.
She changes her community in positive ways. She changes the state in positive ways now, but she also opens up the world to her students. And for that, it is such an honor to know and work with this lady. She truly is a great example of the State Teacher of the Year.
It's just a really great time of excitement and everything that, you know, the district has done, and the police escort and all the interviews and the excitement and the pep rally. It's just been a fantastic time. I look at it and I say, this is a Broken Arrow award. This isn't a Donna Grottle award.
I am proud to be a teacher, and I am honored to be the Oklahoma 2018 Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
The art show this year at NSU BA is incredible. The level of artwork that's seen at all levels, whether you're kindergarten or middle school or high school.
The art show provides our students with a venue to display their art, pre-K through 12.
This is an opportunity for parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, but also people that are just coming into NSU to see what Broken Arrow Public Schools can produce.
Yeah, this year's art show ran for 2 weeks, and we had a tremendous turnout on our opening night. Packed so full it was almost hard to walk around. So it was a great turnout all of the 2 weeks.
You know, I think we are spoiled in Broken Arrow because people think that it is the norm to have a district that supports art from pre-K all the way through 12th grade. And that's really not the case. I mean, I talk to people all the time that they're lucky if they just have a high school art program or maybe a middle school and high school art program. And so to have all of that artwork up and to have our pre-K programs contacting Dr. Dale and saying, we want to have work up too. It's just a testimony to the amazing arts program that has been created in Broken Arrow, and to be able to have it on display for the whole community to be able to see it just makes me so proud that I get to teach at Broken Arrow. And I had an art teacher that he teaches in Tulsa Public Schools that got to attend the art show, and he came by to see me the other day, and he said, oh my gosh, he just couldn't believe the kind of work that we are able to create with our kids. And it's because of that building, of all those building years. It just makes it so much fun to see how much we can push our kids and challenge our kids because they have such a crazy, amazing base to work from.
Broken Arrow High School's Tiger Theater recently took their one-act play to the state competition. A one-act play is a full show cut down to the size of one act that must be set up, run through, and taken down within 45 minutes. At the state competition, Tiger Theater took home the crown and also came home with 2 all-state actors.
Your 6A Oklahoma State champion is Broken Arrow.
These students worked so hard. Competition after competition, they took the notes. They were not discouraged. They made changes. They took my notes and direction and got better with each competition, and they did well at each competition, finally culminating in the state championship.
We won, and I'm still almost in disbelief because in the past we've brought good shows, but there was just something different about this show.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. Me getting the privilege to be the lead of the show throughout this entire process. It was just really fulfilling after all the work that we put into it.
Broken Arrow High School has the #1 play in the state, and only 9 all-star actors were chosen from the state, and 2 of them are from Broken Arrow High School, Drew Denny and Ben Lee. So I could not be more proud of their hard work and dedication to the program.
It definitely takes a lot of effort and work from crew members as well, whether that's backstage getting the set on and getting it off really quickly, or the people doing the lights and the sound.
They set the show up and they tear down, and they're definitely a big part of us succeeding at state.
I'm proud of the students and that they have a great work ethic and they have a class about them, that when they go to competitions they represent themselves well, they represent me well, they represent Tiger Theater, they represent Broken Arrow very well. So I could not be a more proud drama mama.
See more stories like this on BAHSPulse.com, your home for high-quality, award-winning, student-produced digital media content. Be in the know and follow at BAHSPulse on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Next up, we send you to ArrowVision's Charlie Hanema as he takes us on a tour of some of the fabulous new facilities Broken Arrow Public Schools has recently opened with the latest edition of BA Behind the Scenes.
And after that, we give you a closer look at one of tonight's project graduation sponsors, the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation. They do so many great things for the district, and this video highlights what makes their contribution so special. However, we also want to remind you, please do not save seats tonight. That includes you, down there. Yeah, you. Don't save those seats, please. Okay, on to the videos.
Welcome to BA Behind the Scenes. I'm Charlie Hanema. I'm coming to you from Kirkland Activities Complex. It's what used to be North Intermediate High School. Drive down Lynn Lane and you'll notice it's hard to miss the new home for the Broken Arrow soccer teams. The former Kirkland Field now features 2 full-size competition soccer fields, giving the Tigers a state-of-the-art playing surface specifically designed and built for soccer. The teams also have dedicated indoor locker room space. A renovated auditorium is coming to Kirkland soon, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool is planned in the future. At the Freshman Academy, crews continue to build a 20,000 square foot addition. The outside is finished and interior work should be done by the start of next school year. This project will add 11 classrooms, 4 of which are science labs. We're also very proud of our latest project at the high school. During the fall, we added 11 new classrooms, including 5 science labs with top-of-the-line equipment. The classrooms have tables instead of desks, so students can work together more conveniently. The Fieldhouse also has a new dedicated entrance, making it easier for fans and visitors coming to events on campus to find their way. Inside the Fieldhouse lobby, you'll find a new ticket booth as well as a commons area. The renovated concession stand also doubles as a food service line, giving students another place to eat lunch during the school day. You'll also notice new windows to the Fieldhouse so you don't have to miss the action while you're in line for a hot dog or something to drink. One of my personal favorites, USB ports on the power outlets in the commons to help students charge their phones and devices easier. By the way, our renovated spaces all feature the latest energy-efficient technology to help us save money on utility bills for years to come. All of this work was made possible by Phase 1 of the 2015 bond issue our voters graciously approved. Thanks for watching BA Behind the Scenes.
We live in a community that is thriving. It's always on a cliff. And the difference between thriving and surviving, in my view, is how we educate our children.
The foundation has been a huge benefactor to us. We've been able to accomplish a lot of projects and a lot of resources that we wouldn't have been able to do.
The budget doesn't allow us to splurge. And so I feel like the foundation grants allow us to do some of those projects that would just never be within our reach.
Teachers can dream and think outside the box and do something other than what's been prescribed for a district instructional plan. This gives a chance for a teacher to do some things that are creative.
We like the out of the box, the stuff that brings children out of the classroom and lets them experience learning. A lot of the STEM type projects, using their creativity to create something that's new and exciting and different, but is about them, that creates their identity.
Last year I wrote a grant, I titled it In My Own Backyard, and we got some water-soluble oil paints, and the kids just loved it. They felt like they were special. It was a new medium, something they'd never had used before. We would never have been able to afford them.
Mrs. Brown and I knew that they were supposed to come on Wednesday, so we were like, hey, you think they'll come? You think? So when we saw them walking down the hall, it was like, oh, yay, goody. We just got so excited. So it was a really, really neat feeling. It's like Christmas, because you know that you're gonna get this huge gift. And it's even better because it's not a gift for me, it's a gift I get to share with my kids.
I've had teachers that are literally just crawling out of their skin, excited. I've had teachers in tears because of the opportunities they're going to get to be able to provide their students. Anytime you can get a teacher into tears because they're receiving something, to be able to provide support for those kids, man, it pulls at the strings and really gets you excited about what they're doing.
And my friend asked me about donating to the schools and what the best location. You know, should she approach the state of Oklahoma about donating? You know, and one of the things I told her to really look into was what kind of a foundation program that her school district had, because to me that is one of the places that people can give, that their money directly impacts teachers and kids. And so I'm hugely passionate about encouraging people to donate.
It goes to Broken Arrow Public Schools. We spend it on students and teachers, and that's where 100% of these dollars go. So when you give to our foundation, understand, it's going to students and teachers.
Our doors are open. Come see what we're doing within the school district. See all the mighty and great things that are happening with our kids, our teachers. I think you will see a true return on your investment and be well pleased that your money went to a great, great cause.
Broken Arrow's adaptive art program was brand new to the high school this year. The program is meant to give students with special needs an opportunity to get more involved in the world of visual arts.
Every kiddo has unique needs, and these kids have some really special needs. And the thing that I just love about my adaptive art class is because I have peer tutors, I get to find projects that hopefully can be geared specifically to the needs of these individual kids. Peer tutors are huge. They come in with these amazing attitudes where they just want to interact with the special kids, and the special kids can't wait to interact with them.
Every day when they come into class and they see me, they smile real big and give me a hug and tell me hey, and I ask them how their day's been, you know, what they're doing, and just working on different art projects.
The adaptive dance program started as a result of a need, kids needing more class opportunities here at Broken Arrow High School. These kids, they've gained a new sense of self-worth as a performer.
It is my heartfelt goal that as we see the amazing things that are happening this year with the adaptive dance program and the adaptive art program, that we will look for places to grow.
When they bring out their creative side and they tell me like what they want to do and stuff, it just, I don't know, it just brightens my eyes because like they're really smart.
Dance can really change the life of a person, and it's really apparent with these kids how happy they are when they're dancing. So I'm really happy that I get to bring that to them.
That they get these kiddos out of their classrooms so that they can have new goals and different kinds of interactions and achieve different things. So they are achieving things that they've never achieved before.
Being a part of the Pride has definitely been the best part of my life. We're a family. There's honestly nothing like it. In band, we're not just teaching about playing music, we're teaching about life, and I've met some of my best friends through Pride, and I've grown as a person because of the teachers that have taught me.
Being a part of Pride has been very beneficial because I've gotten to make new friends every single year for the past 4 years. I've done tons of competitions, and I even won Grand Nationals. I have friends all over the country now because our Grand Nationals is national, so multiple states go in, and I don't know, it's a really tight community.
My favorite part about being in Pride has definitely been the relationships that I've formed with everyone, and the organization itself has taught me more dedication than I've ever known in my life.
I think this was my favorite year of Pride. Age of Discovery, the Return to Xeno, was definitely not something a normal marching band would do, and we had different levels to shows, and we created things. And one thing about Broken Arrow is we're the pioneers to how certain bands will start to do things in the future, and now people are looking at what we do, and they're going to start doing that in the future, and Broken Arrow is just always one step ahead, and that's what I loved about this show. It was so unique, and no one would ever think, oh, trumpets are going to be driving across the field, baritones standing on top, playing left-handed. It was very unique.
The pros are so amazing. Like I said, you get once-in-a-lifetime experiences with your best friends. You're spending hours upon hours with them, and like your summer goes to them, and you get to just all work hard and have one goal. And I don't know, at the end of it, you're proud of what you put out there because for everyone, it's their all.
I'm going to miss being a part of a group that always is looking out for each other. We can always talk to each other when we have issues. Just having that family relationship constantly because we spend so much time together.
The thing that I'm going to miss most about the Pride is definitely my section because we've been very tight-knit over the past year, and not being with them next year is going to be really hard.
The work's been very difficult at times whenever it comes to the Pride, but we've always had each other to depend on, and no matter how hard it got, we always had each other to help each other, support each other, no matter how hard we might have sunk whenever we hit some hard points. But I have to say, whenever we go to do any competition, or for me, it's even when we just perform for a football game, it's just hearing the music coming together with everyone around us and just seeing it all come together and seeing it just click and sync is just one of the most beautiful things I have to honestly say I've been a part of.
Project Wonder is a collaboration project between the Broken Arrow High School dance program and area elementary schools in Broken Arrow. This year we went over to Spring Creek Elementary, and each week we focused on a different precept within the novel by R.J. Pelagio, Wonder. Again, it's a 10-week residency for about 40 minutes. The fifth graders learn jazz dance elements, ballet dance elements through me teaching as a dance teacher, through my dance students teaching from the high school, and then the kids created choreographic pieces that represented the precepts.
We would say the quote and ask what they thought it meant, and then maybe give them some ideas about what it means and how you could apply that to your own circumstances.
And so we took that precept and we turned it into a dance, and we performed it for each group. So it was like a little mini performance for them. So they were really happy.
You know, from the high schoolers' perspective, they went in having to teach. Not only were my students teaching them about dance, but my students were learning how to teach and how to communicate well.
At the beginning, it was really challenging because they thought that they were going to try to run everything. And then at the end, they slowly realized, oh, I'm learning. And so they started learning, and it turned out really well.
I think they had a really good time and found it to be really fun and just to be creative and stuff. Even though I was the one teaching them stuff, I think I was learning just as much because I've not really done a whole lot with kids, and so teaching somebody else
makes you think about it more too.
What I enjoyed most was like going and seeing the kids when they raised their hand, knowing what the dance move was and getting excited about making dances and learning more about ballet and jazz.
It was really fun just getting to teach them stuff, and I think it's a really good learning experience to actually take leadership for once, like just while we're in high school.
The dance works that they created was really interesting to see the layers of dance elements that they kept with them. So they may have learned plie or tendu or a battement kick week 1, but they still brought that week 10 into their choreography. We didn't throw all these dance steps at them at once. We gave them a little bit at a time. So by week 10, we could really see what they had learned because they would actively put those dance elements into their choreography.
I think I enjoyed it the most when the kids I had a group with, like they came back and they actually got excited to see me again, and they got excited to start making a new dance, and they would like raise their hands jumping up and down like, oh, I have an idea, and they really wanted to share it, and that was probably my favorite part.
Those last 3 videos really highlight how special the Broken Arrow Fine Arts program truly is, while these next 2 put the spotlight on BA athletics. The Broken Arrow boys basketball team won a school record 25 games this year before falling in a close battle in the state semifinals. We sat down with Coach Bo Wallace and his seniors to discuss their special season.
And after that, we take you back to the National Signing Day as Dylan interviews some of this year's senior students athletes who receive scholarships to play at the next level.
Broken Arrow boys basketball was led by a highly successful senior class and won a school record number of games, all while maintaining the #1 seed in 6A.
I think the biggest thing for me, for this group, was I never thought we were out of a game. I always thought, even the last game of the season, I always thought, okay, we're going to find a way to come back and win. We got down, we made some adjustments at halftime, we made a run. Same thing in the first game of the state tournament. So I always felt like this team never thought they were going to lose. So I think that's probably the big thing, and it's a great feeling as a coach to know that your kids never feel like they're going to lose.
Being able to say that we are down in the history books for something like winning the most games ever, that's really incredible, and I was glad to be able to do that with my team.
I say it's it's a historical season for Broken Arrow, so I feel like we really did what we set out for. We just didn't get as far as we wanted to.
When we lost our first game, there was a lot of doubt about us. Were we winning because we didn't play good competition? So we kind of proved everybody wrong and getting to the state quarterfinals, and we're literally like 3 minutes away from the state title. So just winning a lot of games and having fun with my teammates is what I remember the most.
These are a group of guys, that I've been with since 8th grade, freshman year, and it's kind of sad that I'm not going to be playing with these guys anymore. But I was glad to be able to share the moments that I had with them.
Our chemistry is crazy because we all been friends since we all started playing together freshman year, and we just grew, honestly, and since then we just been friends since. So us being friends on and off the court really helped.
The thing that I remember most was probably the trips that we went on, hotel room, staying up late, watching scary movies, playing Xbox, Fortnite, and yeah, that was just real fun. That's something I'll always remember.
The teammates that I had, I probably remember them, and then just exciting plays that we had during our games and stuff like that.
My favorite encore memory has to be the Caleb buzzer beater against Edmond Memorial.
The infamous Edmond Memorial buzzer beater.
Yeah, the putback against Edmond Memorial, because it was so loud and crazy in there. Everybody's tackling me.
That's a win. That's game. That's game. That's game. Caleb in round 2. Left hand finish 48-46. And the Tigers move on to the second round.
You've got to be a little bit lucky. You got to be good, but you got to be a little bit lucky when you get to the state tournament because there's a lot of good teams. And the team that won it was preseason #1. I think we were preseason #2, and I would love to have met them, and then we came up a game short. But then, you go back and you look at the whole season, it was really successful. We had a lot of great memories, and you try not to define the season by just the last game.
I think we just left behind like the knowing of like we got talent on the team. Broken Arrow has talent. We have a chance to go win state titles. So I just feel like they're gonna build off of that and they're gonna start working harder and wanting to get that ring.
One of the biggest days of the year in Tiger athletics, National Signing Day was once again a success as nearly 40 athletes signed on scholarship to represent BA at the next level.
Coach, first off, it's been a great day today for all the Tigers, but the football team had a lot of signees and all under your direction.
Well, it was an amazing group, right? 13 guys signing. Almost all those guys are going to go to school for free, which is tremendous. You know, we had guys at every position: offensive linemen, defensive linemen, secondary receivers, and they're all great young men with high integrity, and it is a lot of fun to see them take the next step.
What are you going to miss most about being at BA?
I'm probably going to miss the girls mostly, and then like the coaching staff and all of that, and just feeling like the relationships I built with the teammates.
Being able to be out there on the field with my guys. I mean, like the last 2 years, I mean, being out there, being able to be a vocal leader, like in the locker room, on the field, I mean, making plays in big time situations. That's the type of things that I will never forget. I mean, you come out the tunnel, you see all the people in the stands, you got the Tiger Pep, you got the cheerleaders in the jungle throwing the powder. I mean, on kickoff, and like, man, like that's just the stuff that about high school that you just will never forget.
Whenever I went there, like it just, you feel like you're at home whenever I just walked on the field. And like I saw the stadium and the campus and stuff, and not to mention my older brother went there, so like it was nice being there when he was there. So I mean, it's a plus.
Braden, you've had a great season all year long. You decided to go to UAFS. What was the big deciding factor in choosing UAFS?
Whenever I first met the coaches at UAFS, they were real welcoming. They did a real good job recruiting me and my family. Just a real good group of coaches.
I worked with the team for 3 years.
Well, what Sean means most to our team is, he's just a ball of energy. He's one of those guys that, even though his job is not to be the energizer of our team, I mean that's what he does. And he's a trainer in his duties, but he's far more than that to our team, and he means a lot to the girls. And means a lot to everybody that's there. I mean, he's a part of the team, and everyone expects him to be there. And he's just a great kid.
I love the girls, and I love helping them out a lot of the season.
So Sean's official duty is he's one of 3 student trainers that we have in volleyball, and on a day-to-day basis, he's going to assist us in practice and make sure if there's any bumps or bruises that he's there to help take care of that. If someone were to get injured, Sean is very, very quick to jump out there if he sees a potential that someone is injured. And that's the one thing when he's not around, he's always asking about the girls and making sure. And
I love all of our seniors on the team this year are really good.
I tell you what, the funniest things that I can think that Sean does, and when I call timeout, it's not always to tell the girls how well they're playing. But Sean gets in the huddle every single time, and he laughs and he smiles every single time. So while I'm trying to make it a good, serious moment, he has that ability to kind of ground everyone and say, you know what, we're kids playing a high school sport. Let's go have fun. And Sean is just that kind of kid. He always has fun. So no matter how serious it gets, he kind of keeps us not so serious at times as well.
I'm gonna miss it a lot, but I'm gonna come to a couple of games for sure, and I'm definitely coming back.
I would describe Sean as a happy kid. I mean, he always has a smile on his face, and no matter what you say, he'll ask you how your day is going, or ask you what you've been doing, and his phrase that he always says is, "Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun," no matter what it is. And it may not even be something that's fun, but he always says, "Oh, that's fun." And it kind of really makes you step back and think, that is pretty fun. So, that's the thing that I'll remember most about Sean over the years, is just how happy a kid he always has been. And he makes others happy because of it.
Broken Arrow girls soccer just won the state title, and Rebecca, you made the game-winning shot. What was going through your mind when that ball left your foot?
Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna go in. It was just hope that it was gonna go in. I was so nervous. Unbelievable feeling. I've wanted it for 4 years, and just getting it makes it so much sweeter. My last year.
We're always on the same team, so to win a state championship is pretty special. Only been scored on 3 times this year, which is a pretty good feeling. She scored half of our goals, so it's just a good accomplishment as a team.
We can be the best. We are the best. Not only that, mental toughness was a really big thing this year. We wanted to work on how tough they could be mentally, and then physically it would come along.
It started with great senior leadership. They grabbed the girls from the beginning and they said, look, this is our year, we're winning it, we're taking it. And from the first practice, they believed that they were going to win it. And they believed every time they stepped on the field, they were the best team on the field.
All my seniors are my best friends, so it's super hard knowing that was our last game together. I'm gonna start crying again. And it's just, I'm so close with them, and then them leaving, it's just gonna be really hard.
Broken Arrow Student Activities and Leadership Program continues to grow, and in addition to putting on awesome events like Aloha Bash, Boot Scoot, the Homecoming Dance, Gym Night, and Springfest, they took on something much bigger back in November as Broken Arrow hosted the Oklahoma Association of Student Councils Convention.
Once again, Dylan was there to cover the event, and this story is highlighted by interviews with not only the BA students and staff who helped organize this event, but the students from other schools who enjoyed their time in BA. Check it out.
With 167 schools in attendance, the Oklahoma Association of Student Councils met on the campus of Broken Arrow High School. The weekend was filled with seminars, guest speakers, and group sessions to try and grow each student as a leader and help each school's student council group make a bigger impact on their campus.
Yeah, I think it's a really big honor for our school to host the State Student Council Convention for a couple of reasons. Number one,
This is the 77th one that Oklahoma's held, and we've only hosted 2 other times. So you're talking this is our 3rd time to ever host the convention out of 77 times. I think that tells you, it's pretty rare to get to host, and so I think that's really unique.
The purpose of it was to bring students around all of Oklahoma together, give them the tools and the things that they can use to really take back to their home school and just make it a better place, whether that's learning how to take, something for their pep assemblies, something for, whatever it may be, just something that they can take back to their school to show them how awesome leadership really is and how they can make a difference.
It was a ton of work. We were selected to be committee chairs about 2 years ago. There's 16 of us, and we were in charge of multiple aspects.
My job is to support the students and try to make their dreams a reality. They really were the ones that drove the convention. They were the ones that put together task lists and shopping lists and things for all of us to do, and really drove the convention and made it happen.
That's when the stressful part came, is whenever we were having to actually do it. Rather than planning it, we were, decorating and staying after school until 10 o'clock, getting here at 6, doing everything like that. So that's really where it hit, is whenever we were all having to execute it and actually go with what we had planned.
Broken Arrow High School hosted the event this year. How would you describe how we hosted the event? Were we good hosts? How would you describe the high school?
It was amazing. Broken Arrow is huge, and it's like a small college, and it was a really good host.
Broken Arrow was absolutely amazing. I could not have asked them to do a better job, and I am so proud of all the work they put into it.
Broken Arrow is huge. I'm standing here and I'm amazed. It's like a college campus, and it was really well done, and I had a great time.
It was great. It was a wonderful conference, probably the best that I've been to and or seen. And Broken Arrow was some pretty great hosts. They had some pretty fun games. The dance was rocking. So it was all in all 10 out of 10 conference for me.
The main thing that I'll take away from this experience is just how amazing it feels whenever all the leaders come together and really just represent their schools and show how great the future is going to be, and I'm just so excited for the future.
So looking back, I thought overall, our energy and spirit and our ability to host was exceptional. Our students, and I had a pretty high expectation for what they would do going into it, but I think they actually exceeded that. And we've heard from sponsors all over the state and students all over the state that they really appreciated Broken Arrow's approach to the convention. And so I'm really proud of our students for that.
We didn't get to experience it, but the best part was seeing everybody else experience it. We got to see everybody else have fun, and that was the best part, and that was what it was to me. It's seeing everybody else, how much they enjoyed it.
There was a moment where Mackenzie Wilson, who's a Broken Arrow student who served as the state secretary, she got to speak, and she had all the chairs. We have 16 students that served as chairs over 2 years, kind of planning the convention, and they had an opportunity to stand up. And then we had, probably over 100 kids total involved, and they were in the field house, a lot of them, and they had a chance to stand. And just for the 2,200 people there to recognize them with some applause was really cool and a special moment, I think, for Broken Arrow to see man, y'all did a great job, and the people that were here really appreciated you and your work.
The final session of the 77th OASC State Convention is now adjourned.
Broken Arrow's 4th annual Gym Night event was held in the Fieldhouse on March 1st. Team Nightmare and Team Daydream's battle made for a huge success.
Gym Night was super fun this year because we had Team Nightmare versus Team Daydream, and it was really exciting because Team Nightmare, which was the team I was on, was really scary, and I got to be a purge person and wear a purge mask and just be in character the whole time, and we had weird props, and it was a really cool experience. This year's Gym Night was the biggest one we ever did. Every year I feel like we kind of just touched the surface of what it could be, and I feel like this year everyone really dove into it and gave it everything they had.
So my favorite moment was really finishing the dance. It was just kind of relieving to know that all the choreography was done, everybody knows what's going on.
My favorite part was probably giving everybody who wanted a main role and seeing how they took that. So that was really fun to see those people actually take on the part and really carry it out throughout the dance.
My favorite part of the dance was probably the thriller part, and that was because we were really in sync, and Gary did a really good part of leading it.
Being able to be Michael Jackson, like, for the team and stuff like that, it was, like, really fun. Just being in the moment and just trying to do my best, like, for my facial expressions and, like, being on point with, like, my dance moves and stuff like that. Team Daydream's routine was pretty nice. I would have to say my favorite moment of the routine was the boys part, which is when us Sugar Plum Fairies were dressed up, had, like, tutus, we had wings on, we had, like, flower hats. That was my favorite part because we got to do some hip-hop moves.
My favorite part of our actual routine has to be the glow stick part. So when the lights went off, everyone was like, oh, like, what are those glow sticks? But yeah, it was super fun, and I thought that was a really defining moment of our routine. It was nice, like, after the fact, hearing my team say, that was so much fun, like, I didn't even care if I messed up, like, I just had the best time out there performing.
It doesn't matter who you are, what background you have, what you're involved in, you can do it, and you can be a part of gym night. And I think that's the very welcoming thing about it, and I think that's what makes it such a good event, is because of the diversity of the people that you see.
I think it's really important for someone to be a part of gym night just because it doesn't require any kinds of huge dancing skills. You can be a football player, a basketball player, an academic person, and you will meet so many amazing people that you probably wouldn't have met.
Gym night is so unique because it takes kids so much hard work to get to the point where they perform that dance in front of everybody. Like, we're working months ahead, and we all get to know each other in that time where we're practicing, so it's a really great way to gather together.
Springfest is a music and arts festival that we have every year. This is our second year doing it, and I felt like it went really well.
This year's Springfest was honestly so amazing. Planning it was a lot of work, a bit stressful at times, but overall the process of it was really fun. Everything went so smoothly from setup to the actual event to cleanup.
We really wanted artists to be able to come to Springfest with their artwork that they've been working on for a while and just make a profit out of it, or just to get appreciated for it, because a lot of people were just displaying their photography or selling prints, or they even created stuff like candles or necklaces or hats, and they were able to sell them, so they were just able to get their name out there in a sense.
2018 Springfest was amazing. It was an experience, a really great one. I enjoyed it. I would say this year was a success because we had more performers than we had last year.
I think that schools do a really good job of showcasing fine arts and like art in general, but like it's all very niche and in like little boxes. So if you have anything that fits outside of that, or you know, something the school doesn't have, we need more stuff like Springfest to be able to showcase what people do that is just kind of abstract and weird, because that's like the really cool stuff.
I really enjoyed our final act, Courtyard Kids. I think they did a really great job, and it was exciting seeing like people sing along to their original song.
With Springfest, we get to showcase artists and musicians and performers, including like dancers or instrumentalists. Like, we get to showcase all of those people.
It's kind of like a dream to be like a professional drummer, and I feel like that's like as close as I've ever gotten, because like I was on an actual stage with like lights, playing with like other people, like making music. It was great.
I think it went really well. I think everybody that came had a really fun time, and there's a lot of just activities to do and a lot more performers this year. So we had a lot of variety, definitely, with our art and performers.
I had a great time, and I know a lot of other students also had a great time. The performances were flawless, and we had so many more artists this year selling or displaying their art pieces, which was really cool, just to see like how much Springfest has grown over just 1 year. So that was really awesome to see.
I'm Janet Dunlop, Superintendent of Broken Arrow Schools. Our mission is 100% literacy, engagement, graduation, every student, every day. We get there by having 4 core values that guide everything we do. Number 1, we embrace the responsibility of our calling. Each of us is accountable to serve our students, our district, and our community. We do this with honesty, integrity, and transparency. We're shaping young lives every day, even if we're not in a classroom. We are all role models, and we lead by example. Number 2, we are passionate about learning. We consistently seek new ways to lead and follow our students into the future. How we've always done it might not be good enough anymore. The world our students will enter is changing, and we will change with it. Number 3, we are a student-focused, relationship-driven school district. We strive to engage our students and community through kindness, compassion, and empathy. We can change a student's life forever. It doesn't have to be a teacher. Maybe it's a bus driver, a crossing guard, or maybe it's you. Number 4, we celebrate and find strength in our diversity. It takes people with different ideas, interests, and backgrounds to drive our district forward. We all have a story. Life is not one size fits all. Neither is education. No matter where you come from or what you like to do, this is a place you can feel loved and find success. Now you know what it means when you hear us proudly say, "We are BA."
Every year during the second semester, the BAHS Drama Department puts on their spring musical, and the tradition of greatness continues once again this year with Mary Poppins.
In addition to the spring musical, the Fine Arts Department also recently started a district-wide choir showcase, highlighted by the performances of BAHS show choirs Tiger Rhythm and Mystique. Both of these events set attendance records, and for good reason. The talented students and staff at BAHS put on amazing shows, and their efforts were rewarded. Check out these stories.
I honestly have to say that this year's Mary Poppins was magical. I know it's cheesy, but it truly was. I met so many amazing children and people after the show. That's my favorite part, is going and talking to all the kids. I just like seeing the effect that we can have on people.
Working on Mary Poppins was super exciting for me because it's the first time I've ever sang in front of an audience. I've never done anything like that before, and it was a little scary, but it ended up really fun in the end.
Being a part of Mary Poppins was really fun and exciting. It was stressful at times, but it all came together in the end, and it ended up being really fun.
Being a part of Mary Poppins was challenging because the schedule was long and the hours were hard, but I mean, in the end, it was all worth it.
Being a part of Mary Poppins has been a big shell breaker for me because I've always been sort of introverted, and so being able to portray a character really gives me the opportunity to see, a side that maybe I don't always see all the time, and it lets me show off a different side of me that not most people have seen.
Being a part of Mary Poppins was like nothing I've ever done before. I've been in a lot of musicals, but there was something like very special about this one particularly because there was so much magic and energy to it. It was kind of like a whole new experience.
My all-time favorite part has to be Jolly Holiday. A really big ensemble number. It was the first showstopper of the whole thing. It was really colorful. It was really magical.
I loved doing Step in Time because the audience always really liked that one, and it was a lot of fun to do, and it was really challenging.
Watch your step in time. Watch your step in time.
My favorite moment of the show was after we ended the song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, just like looking out at the audience and seeing them, go crazy and enjoy what we did.
Every time we put something on, you really bond with other cast members, and you make a lot of friends, and I'm really going to miss that.
The day that the curtain closed on Sunday was really, really sad because it's my last show as a senior, you know, and it was one of my favorite roles I've ever played, you know, so I was doing my last show and ending one of my favorite roles, and it was very sad.
It was sad leaving because this is my last musical at the school, at least at the high school. It was heartbreaking and exciting all at the same time.
I just thought about, you know, cherishing every moment that I have on that stage, because that stage is where I built myself and where I built my abilities and where Miss Ellis really helped us train ourselves, and so that stage is special. So just to take in every moment I could.
You start realizing, like, you know, this is my last one, this is it, I've got to leave it all here, and so it gets really emotional at times, but it was definitely a great experience to have, because an end is just a new beginning to another world.
There's a song that Mary sings, and it's Spoonful of Sugar Reprise, and it's about how she's sad to go and leave this family because, you know, she loves those kids, and it just kind of was a metaphor for all of us seniors that are leaving this year, and, you know, that was our last performance all together and on that stage, and it was just, I almost started choking up because just to think back on all the great experiences that I've had and the great people that I've met, and just that kind of signifying us leaving. Even though there are things we're going to miss, we know that we have to go into that next stage of our life. So.
Being a part of show choir has been life-changing. I've seen people come in being like most like boxed-in people, and seeing people grow is really cool.
Being on stage is like it's like a 20-minute adrenaline rush. You're constantly thinking about the moves, thinking about what words you're singing, and you're just trying to do your best and also relying on others to do their best. And so there's a lot of trust there, and it's really just fun.
It's an experience that sometimes you just can't describe. It's amazing, like the audience is there, the lights are bright, and the music's playing behind you, and that's all you ever want to be, is right there.
Being on stage is like being with a family. Sometimes if a performance goes really good, you'll get off stage and you'll be all sweaty and you'll go, I don't remember what I did.
We practice and practice until we're tired of the songs, but once we're done with our set, it's sort of sad. It's like you're letting a part of you go.
You really have to push yourself to your limits, like work harder than you probably ever have before, but it's definitely worth it.
Being a part of show choir has made me grow extremely as a person. It's made me see a lot of my flaws.
My favorite part about performing is when you look out in the crowd and you know that you're doing really good, because you'll see it on people's faces.
My favorite show choir memory for this past year was probably our last competition, because it was the last competition I'll ever have, and it was just really emotional for everybody, and it was just really special to me.
When you get to the moment where you step on stage, it's awesome, it's magical. There's nothing like being on stage and doing what you love.
It's a great experience, and you meet so many new people, and you really get new friends, and it helps you grow as a person.
I'm really going to miss the people that I'm going to leave behind. I'm really going to miss the lessons that I learned.
The one thing I'm going to miss most about being, a part of the show choir is being able to change lives on a stage.
See more stories like this on BAHSPulse.com, your home for high-quality, award-winning, student-produced digital media content. Be in the know and follow at BAHSPulse on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Miss Heart of Broken Arrow pageant started by my love for pageantry and my love for special needs kids. The purpose of this pageant was to be able to instill core values into each contestant, so giving them the ability to gain confidence in themselves and to be more poised and just to know that they're able to accomplish more than they thought they could. And so by the end of this event, we were able to raise over $1,000 for the Special Olympics team, and that's something that I'm a part of as well. We go to Stillwater every May, and so we'll be able to send those funds that way with each contestant. They were so excited to be in a dress or to be able to perform a talent. They would come up to me and be like, Raquel, I'm so excited. And just seeing that made me realize that what I'm doing, is meaningful and it's impacting them. And that was a great feeling for me to know that, all this hard work is like going towards something really great. So overall, I think everyone had a blast. The process was a lot of fun along the way. My mom did help me in certain areas, so it was nice to be able to have a mentor to fall back on. I had a lot of students also helping me in this process. So we had people with videoing, photography, makeup director, organizers, planners. We had people helping in all kinds of areas. So it was a long process, but it was fun. The Mr. and Miss Heart of Broken Arrow, I do hope that it is something that is an annual event. I am working on putting that in place, people helping me as I go into my college studies and as I graduate from college and move on to my career. I would love to continue coming back and helping out with the pageant each year.
My goal was to get into the top 5. I would have felt like I'd won if I'd just gotten into the top 5. And so when my picture came up, I was like, yes, I got there. Never dreaming that I would be the one picked. And so as I was sitting there or standing there, I was like, okay, let's, just see who wins, And then all of a sudden my picture came up and there wasn't much time. I was, I think, the 3rd or 4th one who was announced, and then they turned right around after the 5th one and announced it. So I didn't have a lot of time to think about it, but I was surprised. It was a grueling process for sure. It's a lot of work. It makes you stop and reflect on why you do what you do, why you're teaching, why you teach that particular unit, the impact that you're making, and so there's a lot of reflection involved in the process. I often say I'd love to go back and have those kids I had those first 2 or 3 years and just let me have a do-over. There are a lot of things, obviously the curriculum, I know my curriculum a lot better. I know how to handle student situations a lot better. I realize that sometimes the curriculum is not quite as important as how a student is feeling that day or what a student is going through that day. We're going to all have good days and bad days, and to be reminded that they're humans and they've got feelings and there are things that are way, 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 way important to them that may not be as important to an adult, but it's their world. So, and all of those things affect their learning. That's one thing about this faculty, that we're teachers together, we're colleagues, but we're also friends. We're friends outside of school, and we laugh and we joke and we can vent to each other and we can, joke with each other, and we understand because we're all teachers in the classroom. We understand what each other is going through. And yes, we closed down Dairy Queen that night, but Dawn and Tiffany were like, we can't break tradition. We've got to have ice cream on the night the Teacher of the Year is crowned. So they let us in and made us leave out a side door. It's been such a whirlwind since I won, and then with graduation here and all the end of the school events, I've really not had a chance to really sit down and really let it sink in that I've won. When I walk out to my garage each morning and see that car, I'm reminded, and I think it's Donna's car when I go out there. It's really important to me to be a good ambassador for Broken Arrow Public Schools, to put forth my best foot, so to speak, and make them proud of me. And just, being a good role model for all the younger teachers, and hopefully a good inspiration to those who are thinking about going into teaching, and seeing the road that I've traveled and seeing that there is so many rewards and benefits to being a teacher.
It's time now to count down the top 10 moments of the school year.
Number 10, the boys basketball team set a new school record for wins by finishing the year 25-3. That beat the old record by 1. Congratulations on a great season. Number 9, we hosted the State Student Council Convention in November. Close to 1,800 students from 161 schools across Oklahoma came to the high school for the weekend. That also meant the high school held its first virtual day, where students did assignments from home on their Chromebooks. Number 8, it was another banner year for the Fine Arts Department. Broken Arrow brought home a state championship in one-act play, and the Tiger Theater's production of Mary Poppins drew record attendance to the PAC this spring. Number 7, we had 7 National Merit Scholar finalists. That's our highest number in years, and each one of the semifinalists also made the cut as finalists. Number 6, each of our elementary schools took part in Gathering Place's Reading Tree Challenge. Schools across the metro have combined to read more than 1.6 million books this year, and Leisure Park finished in the top 4. Number 5, it was a big 50th anniversary year at Sequoia Middle School. We started by unveiling a new renovation to the school and finished it by expanding our one-to-one program to all grades. Every student at Sequoia now has their own Chromebook to take home to help with assignments. Number 4, Timber Ridge opened its doors as Broken Arrow's 15th elementary school. The building won a construction award from the Oklahoma Association of General Contractors. Step inside sometime, and you'll see why. Number 3, the Pride of Broken Arrow continued its incredible success. The Pride won its 16th straight OBA state championship, which was number 25 in school history. The Pride also earned a runner-up finish at Grand Nationals, and the Indoor Percussion Squad brought home a state title as well. Number 2, the school year started with a bang as our first football game was televised on ESPN. It was an incredible afternoon and a great way to show off everything our district and community have to offer to a nationwide audience. And number 1, on September 19th, high school science teacher Donna Grottle won the State Teacher of the Year award. We celebrated her with a police escort through downtown BA and back to the high school. She is the 3rd State Teacher of the Year from Broken Arrow and has continued to inspire us all year long. Those are the top 10 moments of the school year. What a great time to be a Tiger.
We hope you've enjoyed this special graduation edition of The Pulse. Be sure and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at BAHSPulse for more student-produced digital media content. Thanks for reliving some of these amazing memories with us from what has been an incredible senior year for us and our class of 2018 friends.
Congrats to all of the seniors and their friends and family tonight from everyone at ArrowVision and The Pulse. And now, enjoy the sounds of the Pride of Broken Arrow.
I'm Charlie Hannema, and on behalf of all of us at Broken Arrow Public Schools, welcome to tonight's graduation. Tonight is a very special occasion for our students and their families. Good evening and welcome to the beautiful BOK Center. I'm Charlie Hannema, and on behalf of all of us at Broken Arrow Public Schools, welcome to tonight's graduation. Tonight is a very special occasion for our students and their families, one that we hope they'll cherish for the rest of their lives. This is a formal event as we celebrate close to 1,200 graduates. Each one of them is the most important person in the room to their families and friends. So please, do not blow horns or interfere in any way with the ability of others to hear students' names as they're called. Of course, there will be plenty of time to celebrate. There will be a time at the end for confetti, balloons, and all the noise you can make as the graduates toss their hats in the air. Thank you for doing your best to help us celebrate with dignity and with class. Once again, good evening, and welcome to the beautiful BOK Center. I'm Charlie Hannema, and on behalf of all of us at Broken Arrow Public Schools, welcome to tonight's graduation. Tonight is a very special occasion for our students and their families, one that we hope they'll cherish for the rest of their lives. This is a formal event as we celebrate close to 1,200 graduates. Each one of them is the most important person in the room to their families and friends. So please, do not blow horns or interfere in any way with the ability of others to hear students' names as they're called. Of course, there will be plenty of time to celebrate. There will be a time at the end for confetti, balloons, and all the noise you can make as the graduates toss their hats in the air. Thank you for doing your best to help us celebrate with dignity and with class. Once again, welcome. It is a great night to be a Tiger, and we're so glad you're here.
On behalf of the Board of Education and the faculty of Broken Arrow High School, I'd like to welcome you to the 110th Annual Broken Arrow High School Commencement Ceremony. And now, please rise to welcome the graduates of the class of 2018. Please continue standing as our colors are presented by members of our Broken Arrow High School JROTC, and remain standing as our graduation band performs our national anthem. Please advance and present the colors. Thank you. Please be seated. Tonight, we wish to honor those of you who have served in our country's armed forces, are currently serving, or have enlisted and will soon be serving. As our choir performs, please stand when you hear your service branch's song. We salute you for your dedication and service. time, we will observe a tradition that has been a part of the commencements of our proud school since its early days. Bells play a large role in the life of most schools, signaling the beginning and the end of the school day. The ringing of a bell also notes an occasion of particular significance or importance. As we often do, therefore, we choose to reach into our past and resurrect those symbols and sounds which provided inspiration in the past, helped to make us who we are, and have assisted in bringing us to this evening. The old bell of historic Broken Arrow High School is with us this evening, and we call forth Raquel Jackson and Easton Moore of the class of 2018 to ring the bell for blessings and good fortune for our senior class. English poet John Donne once asked, "For whom doth the bell toll?" Tonight, seniors, the answer is clear. It tolls for thee. Our Broken Arrow High School choir, led by choral director Justin Rosser, will perform our school's alma mater, followed by the senior class song, "I Was Here." Please rise for the singing of our alma mater. You may be seated afterwards.
Will brought some happiness, left this world a little better, because I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here, I did, I've done everything that I wanted, it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mind so everyone will know I was here. I was
It is only fitting on this special evening that we pause for a moment in memory of those whose untimely passing prevented their physical presence with us here tonight. They are senior class member Noah Lars Schreiner and Broken Arrow High School teachers Chuck Boland and Stan Warrington. At this time, please join me in a moment of silence as we remember. Thank you. Tonight I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing Dr. Janet Dunlop, Superintendent of Broken Arrow Public Schools. Dr. Dunlop has more than 25 years of experience in the field of education as a teacher, academic principal, college professor, and central office administrator. Before being named as superintendent at Broken Arrow Public Schools, Dr. Dunlop served as the Deputy Superintendent of Accountability and Assessment at the Oklahoma State Department of Education. Prior to that, she served as the Associate Superintendent of Instruction for Broken Arrow Public Schools. Among other accomplishments during her tenure in Broken Arrow, Dr. Dunlop has facilitated the district's literacy initiative and led the instructional team in successfully aligning curriculum for grades pre-K through 12. Additionally, Dr. Dunlop was named as the 2016 Oklahoma Assistant Superintendent of the Year by COSA and the Oklahoma Association of School Administrators. Please welcome Dr. Janet Dunlop to the platform. Dr. Dunlop.
Good evening. It is my honor to welcome you to the Broken Arrow High School graduation ceremony and celebration of the class of 2018. First, I would like to introduce our guests joining me on the platform this evening. Please stand as your name is called. I ask that the audience please hold their applause until everyone has been introduced. Mr. Jack Pugh, Broken Arrow Academy Principal. Ms. Beth Gilbert, Freshman Academy Principal. Ms. Melissa Galloway, Mentoring Healthy Parents Director. Mr. Steve Allen, Board of Education President. Ms. Carla Dias, Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Hunter Janway, Representative of the Class of Distinction. Ms. Namara Nuaz, Student Council President. Mr. Kenny Long, Senior Class President. Mr. Larry Lewis, Broken Arrow High School Senior Class Principal. Ms. Liz Burns, Broken Arrow High School Principal. Mr. John Cockrell, Board of Education Member. Mr. Jerry Denton, Board of Education Clerk. Mr. Steve Majors, Board of Education Vice President. Ms. Cheryl Kelly, Board of Education Deputy Clerk. Ms. Shelley Swisher, 2018 District Teacher of the Year.
Jill Taylor, Broken Arrow High School Teacher of the Year. Miss Donna Grottle, 2018 Oklahoma Teacher of the Year. And Mr. Chuck Perry, Associate Superintendent. And joining us on the floor this evening is Mr. Ben Stout, Chief Technology Officer. Ms. Michelle Bergwald, Chief Operating Officer. Ms. Lori Kearns, Chief Administrative Officer. And Ms. Natalie Enoff, Chief Financial Officer. Please give these special guests a round of applause. What a joyous occasion this is for every person sitting in this arena. Graduates, your family members and loved ones are here tonight, and they've dreamed of celebrating this milestone in your life since the moment you were born. Your teachers and principals sitting in this audience have poured their hearts and souls into making sure you're ready for life after high school, whether you will choose to attend college, tech school, enter the military, or begin your career. And your classmates who are rejoicing beside you have no doubt supported you and motivated you to work harder, care more deeply, and be the very best person you can be. So graduates, please join me in applause for your families and support systems who've helped place you in that chair tonight. Thank you, class of 2018. And now, as you walk across the stage to accept your high school diploma, remember, this ceremony is a rite of passage into adulthood. With adulthood comes responsibility to decide who you're going to be after you leave high school. This just doesn't mean just the occupation you will have or the college you will attend. Throughout your educational career, you've most likely heard many, many times that academics are important and that focusing on your studies leads to a successful life. While this is true, as you walk across the stage tonight, you're walking into the next stage of your life, and you get to decide whom you will be on the inside. In a world where oftentimes greed, fame, and winning make many people focus on themselves, please consider what type of person you will choose to be. What will be your noble cause? How about your core values? Will you be kind and courageous? How will you use your intellect and passion? How will you change others' lives in positive ways? My hope for you is that you have the courage to choose kindness and compassion over selfishness and hate. Choose to give back rather than grab all you can get. My very wisest role models have been those who recognize that we gain more purpose, happiness, and self-esteem by serving others. I'm going to repeat that. We gain more purpose, happiness, and self-esteem by serving others. As you graduate tonight, class of 2018, please remember these words from Henry James. 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. As we move on to the celebration of your accomplishments, I'd like to share some very exciting news about the class of 2018. In Broken Arrow Public Schools, we have a mantra we announced nearly 5 years ago. It's a lofty goal, but it's a goal I'm absolutely confident we will reach. The mantra reads, 100% literacy, engagement, and graduation. Every student, every day. Our intention is that employees, parents, students, and community members recognize and embrace the role we all play in meeting that 100% success in these principles. Well, class of 2018. You have risen to this challenge, and tonight we are graduating 97% of our seniors. To say that I'm proud is an understatement. This percentage is a concrete example of the tenacity and hard work of each student sitting in front of me, and it shows that we can do anything we put our minds to, and even more when we support each other. You have provided your underclassmen with a tradition of excellence on which to build. You have set the bar and issued a challenge to the class of 2019 and every class to follow. In closing, I want you to know that we are so honored that you're a graduate of Broken Arrow, and this makes you a forever member of our Broken Arrow family. As you move on to the next chapter of your life, never forget where you came from. Never forget the friendships, the good times that you had here, and more importantly, everything you've learned. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dunlop. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome Senior Class President Kenny Long to the platform to address the senior class. Welcome, Mr. Long.
Good evening and welcome to a new beginning. First, I would like to congratulate all of us for completing our high school education. We can finally say we did it after 2 more weeks of school. We've come a long way, from complaining about how short recess was in elementary school, to complaining about homework in middle school, to complaining that lunch is too short in high school. It seemed like all we ever did was complain. But with all that complaining came changes. We began to feel time growing shorter. The people around us began to change, and we saw change in how we acted and floated around trying to find a group to fit in with. We began to question ourselves and wonder what our purpose was as we began to grow up and lose our childhood innocence. However, we learned from all of these experiences. We made mistakes, but found some new truth to take from them. We learned how to laugh at our mistakes, how to gain independence, and how to love ourselves and others. In short, we grew. Yet none of this growth would have been possible without some pain. Many of us have lost those who were once dear to us, or endured some type of suffering or sickness. Sometimes it may have been hard to see why these things happened, but I believe that our adversities and struggles have meaning in the end. Having the will to keep going, regardless of what challenges come our way, pushes us to achieve our goals, whatever they may be. We must cherish the past, live in the present, and look to the future. That future is truly limitless if we only stop placing limits on ourselves. Break through the ceiling you may be placing on your own dreams and discover the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Each of us is the author of our own life story. What will the next chapter be? It's up to each of us to discover. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. Our next speaker this evening is Student Council President Namera Nawaz, who has some thoughts to share with our graduating seniors. Welcome, Ms. Nawaz.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and the class of 2018. It is truly an honor to stand here in front of you. First, I would like to take this moment to thank my parents and my grandma for all the sacrifices they have made, and the rest of my family here tonight. And I want to thank my teachers for supporting and guiding me all these years. Without you, none of us would be the people who we are today. Well, class of 2018, congratulations to you all, including myself. We have worked tirelessly these past 12 years for this very moment and have now hit full send on our senior year. Finally, the day we've been all waiting for is here, an ending which marks a new beginning. All of us are sitting here tonight as Tigers, having tenacity, integrity, gratitude, high expectations, and respect, because that is what defines us as Tigers, right? While some of you might agree, I believe there's a bigger and deeper meaning to being a Tiger than the qualities listed in the Tiger Challenge Creed. Each of us determines our own definition of what it means to be a Broken Arrow Tiger. We have each had our own high school experience, whether it's attending a game, participating in a performance, planning a school event, or stressing out with our classes. All of us have created an individual identity through these years. Each of us have our own story to tell with our own beliefs and backgrounds. As a result, there is not a single person who is 100% the same as you. There's so much diversity throughout our graduating class, and that's what makes us so unique. Yet, in spite of those differences, we are able to come together as one, and that's what makes us Tigers. Being a Tiger means being a part of something bigger and better than ourselves. Being a Tiger means to value and celebrate the differences in others. The diversity within our class equips each graduate here with the ability to do whatever he or she desires. I am beyond grateful to call myself a Broken Arrow Tiger and have made so many amazing memories at Broken Arrow. Class of 2018, we are each about to start a new chapter of our lives. In just a few short moments, we will be walking across the stage, getting our diplomas, and turning our tassels. Together, we started a journey as Tigers, and now we will be ending that part of our journey together. Continue to value and celebrate others, love unconditionally, and live freely. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for all of us. Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it! Thank you.
Thank you, Namera. Academics are the central reason that all schools exist, and tonight we wish to honor our academic program. At this time, we would like to recognize all those who work with our students at Broken Arrow High School. Would the members of our Broken Arrow High School faculty please stand so that we can honor your hard work. I would also like to introduce our faculty department chairpersons who have led our instructional team this year. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing until we can acknowledge you. Please hold your applause until all names are called. Tiffany Jones, Social Studies. Lisa Dixon, English. Tamitha Ogilvie, Business. Donna Grottle, Science. Andy Rice, Mathematics. Jennifer Deal, Fine Arts. Sandra D, Level 1, Special Education. Melissa Fields, Level 2, Special Education. Latanya Pinder, Level 3, Special Education. Rodney Arthur, Vocational. Shelley Mashburn, World Languages. Mary Fowler, Physical Education. And Rhonda Weeks, Counseling. Let's give those who have played such a significant role in our academic program a big round of applause. Reflective of the high academic standards of our school, the graduating class of 2018 has distinguished itself with the total dollar amount of college scholarships which they have accepted. At this time, it is my honor to announce their scholarship total, an impressive $8,841,522. distinction represents those students whose grade point averages place them in the top 3% of the senior class. Each year, a representative from that group addresses our graduates at commencement. Please join me then in welcoming to the platform Hunter Janway, representing our 2018 Class of Distinction.
Good evening, friends, family, and the Class of 2018. First, I would like to express my most profound thanks to my parents, my Aunt Ursula and Uncle Frank, the Schrader and Sullivan families, and all of my teachers for supporting me and impacting my life in powerful ways. Do you realize that the average 9-year-old today could easily astound such great thinkers as Aristotle and Copernicus simply by quoting information that is taught in most of today's schools before the 3rd grade? Presently, we have access to far more knowledge and technology than anyone has held during any other time in history, and the limits of what we comprehend are stretching farther every day. To me, it is critical that we cherish this privileged time we have been born into and take advantage of it in every way possible. Since our days in elementary school, our teachers have challenged us to build on our knowledge every year and to look excitedly to the future for the chance to learn more. However, for many people of our generation, the fire that drove our passion for learning was doused about the time Snapchat streaks and video games became more valuable to us than noticing the magic of lightning bugs and shooting stars. As we get older, it is natural to lose touch with the wonder and fantasy of childhood, because we grow so accustomed to the incredible discoveries and new technology we encounter every day. However, the creative sense of wonder we knew as children should continue to be an immense part of what makes life enjoyable. I envy the child who can pick up a rock and spend hours entertaining himself with various rock games. Why does the fun of life have to be replaced with sterile adulthood just because of the passage of time? Well, for some people it doesn't. People with a passion for learning can regain some of the astonishment of childhood by looking at the bounds of what they know and seeking to push farther. Loving to learn is invaluable because it renews us and makes everyday life exciting. People who enjoy discovering new ideas can go through the same routine each day, but gain new perspectives and experiences as they do so. And as we learn, we need to remember how to wonder, like we did in childhood. As we grow up, we often forget this lesson, but my challenge to you is to hold tight to it. Look at yourself in the mirror and imagine living out your most exciting dreams. Notice the trees in spring and wonder if they can feel the wind rushing through their new leaves. Change the channel to PBS every once in a while and learn something new. When there is no wonder or fantasy in your life, when you stop learning and growing, you know you have officially grown up. My hope is that none of us ever fully grows up. Imagination is a crucial part of life that should never be yielded to age. If living a positive life and thinking creatively means slowing down every once in a while to stare at a bug or kick a rock, then I am willing. That is my hope for us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Hunter. Dr. Dunlop, members of the Board of Education, faculty, graduates, and honored guests. What a privilege it is to stand before you and add my congratulations to those which you have already received this evening. This has been simultaneously a year of great challenges for our school and of great triumphs. One accomplishment in which I know we have all taken pride has been the naming of Broken Arrow High School environmental science teacher, Ms. Donna Grottle, as the 2018 Oklahoma State Teacher of the Year. As part of her responsibilities as the State Teacher of the Year, Ms. Grottle will travel the state this next school year, speaking to school and community groups about education topics and inspiring them as she has our own students and staff. In trying to decide what I wanted to share with you this evening, I was inspired by Ms. Grottle's passion for environmental science and the many lessons which I know she feels can be learned from the natural world around us. Recently, I read an article about the world's largest and one of its oldest living organisms, the giant sequoia tree. The more that I learned about the sequoia, the more I felt that it holds lessons which are worth noting on this occasion tonight. Lesson number 1, the biggest tree can come from the smallest seed. At an average height of 200 to 300 feet and the ability to live as long as 3,000 years, sequoia trees are worthy of respect in the natural world. Yet, the giant sequoia comes from a tiny cone which contains seeds so small that it would take well over 90,000 of them to equal 1 pound. What a powerful reminder of the limitless potential of each life. Within the smallest and seemingly least powerful among us lies the potential for greatness. Lesson number 2, adversity can bring us our greatest opportunity for growth. The bark of a mature sequoia tree can grow up to 3 feet thick, and it is rich in tannic acid. These two characteristics coupled together make the sequoia very resistant to fire. As a result, the trees may be scorched, but will normally survive the most intense forest fires. Rather than kill the trees, fire actually helps them grow stronger, since the heat assists their cones in opening up and dropping the seeds that they contain onto the bare, burned soil below, where they find a home and begin to grow. The trees not only survive the fires, they thrive because of them. There will be times in each of our lives when we find ourselves facing challenges, when we may feel singed by the difficulties we encounter. It is in these times of pain and loss that we may find our greatest opportunities to learn and grow stronger. Lesson number 3, our best days are ahead of us if we refuse to stop growing. Because the sequoias are so tough, they grow old. And unlike mammals, they never stop growing. Their hardiness, age, and size are all connected. If we continue to look for opportunities to stretch ourselves, to learn, to grow to our greatest potential, whatever that may be, throughout all the days of our lives, we will discover depths of resilience and brilliance that we would never have thought possible. Refuse to allow yourself to stagnate. Resolve now to keep challenging yourself and growing every day of your life. And finally, lesson number 4, nurture your relationships and take strength from community. It is a strange irony that the sequoia can grow as tall as a 26-story building, yet its root system is remarkably shallow, growing only 6 to 20 feet into the ground. With roots so shallow, what keeps these enormous trees from simply blowing over in the first strong wind? The answer lies in the fact that sequoias never grow alone. They grow in groves of sequoia trees. Their roots are shallow, but they spread out and intertwine with the roots of all the other sequoias growing near. They remain standing when buffeted by the strongest winds, because underneath the ground where no one sees, there are thousands of little hands holding tight to one another. None of us can withstand the sometimes harsh winds of life alone. Surround yourself with others who would seek to strengthen you and build you up, and look for the opportunities to do that for another. Taking the time to build and seek out community helps us to stand fast, regardless of the challenges life brings. Those of us who have been privileged to witness your life thus far and work with you each day have faith that you will continue to grow and flourish as you move on from us and meet your future and make it your own. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Broken Arrow High School, congratulations once again on reaching this important moment in your life. Thank you. And now the part of our program on which I know you have all been waiting. Dr. Dunlop, members of the Board of Education, distinguished guests, faculty, family, and friends. As principal of Broken Arrow High School, it is my honor to present to you the graduating class of 2018. On behalf of our faculty and staff, I hereby certify that each senior before you this evening will be completing the requirements established for a high school diploma by the state of Oklahoma and the Broken Arrow Board of Education. We will at this time begin the presentation to our seniors with members of the high school faculty announcing names and Dr. Dunlop, senior grade level principal Larry Lewis, members of the Board of Education and district officials presenting to our graduates. Audience, we ask you to help us with our ceremony by observing proper decorum during this time. We ask also that items or sounds which could be distracting be held until the end of the commencement ceremony. This will ensure that all students' names are heard as they cross the stage. Junior marshals, you may move into place. Our first graduates this evening are our three student speakers. Kenny Hugh Long, Namira Ashleen Nuaz, Hunter Klaus Janway.
Kaylee Faith Cole. Kylie Marilyn Grisso. Denisha Rennet Elshai.
Nathaniel Cole Brazelton. Alex Wayne Stevens. Ethan Christopher McConnell. Roy Stephen Hash. Charlene Michelle Donovan. Mason Edwards. Smolko. Nathaniel Abad. Chloe Renee Abbott. Daisha Acey.
Alea Jade Langford.
Carla Acosta.
Austin Tussey.
Austin Adair.
Mario Freeman Jr.
Skyla Adair.
Elise Gunn.
Xavier Adams.
Holly Elizabeth Green.
Isabel Atkins.
Taylor Latta.
Desiree Aguilar.
Jessica Laughlin.
Adriana Ramirez.
Eden Lawson.
Kate Aguirre.
Michaela LeBlanc.
Daniel Akers.
Brenna Leclerc.
Cheyenne Akins.
Caleb Leclerc. Aurora Rose Pajali.
Nizar Al-Rashon.
Mai Lee.
Easton Reynolds Moore.
Micah Lee.
Ivan Alejandre.
Taylor Lee.
Alicia Alexander.
Sarah Legier.
Aubrey Marie Allen.
Lauren Elizabeth Leiding.
Alyssa K. Allenbach.
Austin Wayne Leister.
Miranda Alvarez.
Brianna Leonard.
Melanie Ambrose.
Raquel Renee Jackson.
Dominic Andazola.
Caleb Christopher Lewis.
Connor J. Anderson.
Carla Andrea Lewis.
Lauren Anderson.
Chris Linnell.
Nikisha Anderson.
Morgan Linson.
Caitlin Anderton.
Ashlyn Belief Liston.
Noah Anthony.
Robert Lockhead.
Hannah Antonio.
Jordan Locust.
John Antloger.
Isabel Lomeli.
Austin Applegate.
Brandon Long.
Lance.
Isaac Longshore.
Aiden Orchard.
Wendy Lopez.
Devin Arnold.
Eduardo Lopez.
Brian Arredondo Mata.
Angela Lore.
Kiera Atkins.
Lucien Lore.
Cameron Aurelius. Austin William.
Duncan Lau.
Amparo Guadalupe Avalos.
Brett Lorero.
Alyssa Nicole Babe. Bevan.
Tyler Lovett.
Jasmine Bailey.
Raven Lowwater.
Logan Brooks Bailey. Brett Anthony Bulkey.
Drew Lowe.
Isaiah Jaron Ballard.
Sophie Lothar.
Caden Ray Banks.
Mohammed Lukman.
Hugo Barajas.
Alan Lee.
Antonio Barbosa.
Taylor Mackey.
Keely Ann Barker.
Delana Majors.
Brittany Barnes.
Caden Malone.
Madison Barnes.
Isaac Malone.
Ashton Barnett.
Austin Mancinelli.
Austin Blake Barnett.
Jared Wade Mann.
Megan Olivia Barnett.
Devin Mantle.
Kevin Alfonso Barrios.
Jasmine Marble.
Annalise Barty.
Lexi Hope Marks.
Alondra Becerra.
Josue Marroquin.
Megan Becker.
Alexandra Marupo.
Joseph Beckerly.
Blake Hunter Martin.
Deanna Beecham. Jay Spellmap.
Brianna Martin.
Bailey Benton.
Renee Martin.
Vernice Elizabeth Bernal.
Paige Martino.
Paul Bernius.
Anna Martinez.
John Garrett Berry.
Andrew Martinez.
Tad Berryhill.
Lily Martinez.
Christian Allen Best.
Caleb Mason.
Esaias Betts.
Mackenzie Mason.
Jordan Elizabeth Betts.
William Glenn Matthews.
Dakota Beeville. Jessica Laurie Bayard.
Caitlin Rochelle Mathis.
Dawson Bickle.
Ryder Matlock.
Christopher William Byerly.
Brady Majoda.
Brett Biggs.
Jacob Mackey.
Cody William Bingham. Jacob Bishop.
Jessa Manu.
Mason Gregory Bishop.
Caleb Elizabeth May.
Colin Bivens.
Maya McAllister.
Garen Matthew Black.
Marcus McCall.
Matthew Blackstone.
Logan McCarn.
Cameron Page Blackman.
Devin McLean.
Christian James Blakely. Chandler Blaylock.
Christopher McClellan.
Jacob Logan Blevins.
Aaron Elaine McClellan.
Victoria Block.
James McCoy.
Chase Bluford.
Bailey McCauley.
Jordan Lee Blunt. Emerald Rose Bonner.
Brianna McGee.
Tanner Boer.
Trayvon McHenry.
Sierra Dawn Borgstead.
DeWaylen McIntosh.
Carolyn Bouchard.
Raina McKee.
Mackenzie Catherine Boudreau.
Jackson McKnight.
Shaylee Bosden.
Abigail Metter.
Bailey Ann Bowers.
Jana Meadows.
Brooke Becker.
Noah Mebin.
Cassidy Lorraine Bowles.
Julian Medina.
Aubrey Bowman.
Michael Meeks.
Callie Rebecca Box. Caitlin Boyd.
Katie Mejia.
Haley Ann Boyd.
Ryan Melton.
Braden Boyer.
Nicholas Mananza.
Mary Elizabeth Bracken.
Juan Mendez.
Christian Brassfield.
Nicholas Meredith.
Riley Suzanne Brassfield.
Michaela Metcalf.
Maggie Briner.
Nicholas Mitchka.
Benjamin Robert Brewer. Juliana Sierra Brewer.
Samuel Minkoff.
Zoe Lynn Brooks.
Bradley Keith Miller.
Shai Brookman.
Hunter James Miller.
Asia Elizabeth Brown. Darius Brown.
Catherine Ann Miller.
Nicole Alyssa Bruner.
Anna Farrell Mills.
Magdalena Bryant.
Jade Elizabeth Mills.
Landon Hunter Buckmaster.
Brianna Miner.
Brandy Buckner.
Alexandra Mitchell.
Jade Ashley Bullard.
Daniel Mitchell.
Grant Birch.
John Mitchell.
Taylor Lynn Burke. Jaden Leigh Burris.
Mason Mitchell.
Caleb Porteo.
Nicole Lanise Mitchell.
Daisy Bustamante.
Colton Mize.
Victoria Starley Bustamante.
Misael Mondragon.
Alexis Marie Bootfish.
Ashley Montgomery.
Austin Buttress.
Haley Borman.
George Anthony Caffey.
Angel Mora.
Alec Thomas Karras.
Noemi Moral.
Thomas Cole Calhoun.
Anthony Morales.
Kinsey J. Cowan.
Kevin Morales.
Eviana Beth Camacho.
Andrew Morgan.
Jessica Campbell. Aaliyah Canari.
Braden Allen Michael Morris.
Brody Dylan Cantu.
Dylan Morris.
Jordan Taylor Caps.
Ray Morrison.
Joseph Caps.
Marissa Morrison.
Madison Danielle Caputo.
Parker Morrison.
William Patrick Carey.
Megan Mosinski.
Mackenzie Carney.
Amber Mosley.
Connor Jack Carr.
Gary Mossip.
Garrett Dwayne Carrier.
Caitlin Mullins.
Gabrielle Eileen Carrico.
Ian Mundis.
Kelsey McKenna Carroll.
Ricardo Munoz.
Austin Carter.
Reese Murdoch.
Joshua Daniel Carter.
Ariana Murray.
Hannah Pauline Castleman.
Jace John Murray.
Tegan Taylor Castro.
Jackson James Murray.
Noah Alexander Cates.
Jessa Murray.
April Lorraine Cady.
Ryan Matoni.
Daisy Cazares.
Christopher Myers.
Brianna Lee Cecil.
Nicole Myers.
Sergio Cepeza.
Kylie Myers Kennedy.
Jacob Michael Chamberlain.
Kate Nagy.
Corbin Chambers.
Aaliyah Nascimento.
Mac Chambers.
Jared Anthony Natali.
Zachary Chance.
Nicholas Natali.
Brenna Christopher Chapman.
Eric Naughton.
Faith Chapman.
Stormy Neal.
Mariah Danae Chapman.
Amberly Neal.
Reese Hadley Charles.
Morgan Nelson.
Anissa Marie Chavez.
Zachary Wayne Nelson.
Elizabeth Maria Chavez.
Charles Nettles.
Abigail Renee Chester.
Joshua Newsom.
Bailey Nicole Childers.
Darren Wynn.
Jacob Aaron Childers.
Jessica Wynn.
Reese Childress.
Quinn Wynn.
Tanner Wade Choate.
Blaine Nichols.
McKenna Clanton.
Lance Nichols.
Hannah Clark.
Larissa Rivadavia.
Julian Clark.
Blake Nielsen.
Kenneth David Clark.
Grant Nixon.
Devin Lee Clayton.
Eric Noyes.
Justin Riley Coates.
Micah Noyes.
Ben William Cobb.
Christopher Knoll.
Carson Kent Cobb.
Joshua Adrian O'Barr.
Dakota Cochran.
Samuel O'Brien.
Darren Gray Collins.
Aaron Oakley.
Josiah Collins.
Mills O'Dalla.
Kaylee Marie Collins.
Justin Ololo.
Mary Elizabeth Collins.
Sean Olson.
Victoria Elena Colon Estrada.
Allison Orman.
Caitlin Nicole Colquitt.
Anthony Orozco.
Shaden Christine Colvin.
Elena Esperanza Ortega.
Nicolette Conklin.
Zane Osborne.
Xavier Lakeith Conley.
Mark Asyanikov.
Rogelio Contreras.
Nathan Pacheco.
Jonathan Buckley Kuhn.
Deanna Page.
Jacob Cooper.
Lucas Park.
Andrew James Levi Copeland.
Elijah Parks.
Logan Matthew Cornwell.
Kendall Margaret Paris.
Aiden Cade Connell.
Abigail Danielle Parrish.
Madison Pearl Covington.
Derek Patel.
Audrey Faith Coyne.
Gage Patrick.
Jasmine Lee Kraft.
Chloe Grace Patterson.
Emily Alexandra Craig.
Lauren Patton.
Kyla Lemire Crawford.
Aubrey Caroline Patty.
Christopher Martin Crawford Cervantes.
Dylan Hall.
William Clayton Creech.
Cassidy Nicole Payne.
Alyssa Nicole Kreitz.
Chloe Pierce.
Dylan William Cricky.
Elijah Peterson.
Weston Shane Cricky.
Zachary Blake Pennington.
Alessandra Crescioni.
Tyler Pence.
Heath Spencer Crittenden.
Grace Renee Perry.
Alexis Cross.
Alexis Perez.
Raven Crow.
Brendan Perkins.
Ashlyn Comiskey.
Anna Perry.
Sean Cooney.
Austin Peterman.
Destiny Cunningham.
Danya Lene Peters.
Tyler Michael Curran.
Joshua Peterson.
Tyra Nicole Curry.
Justin Pettit.
Lanaya Rain Pryor Curtis.
Riley Barr.
Tyler Dean Curtis.
Carly Phillips.
Joshua D'Souza.
Trevor Holiday Phillips.
Brittany Danielle Daly.
Ashlyn Phipps.
Rachel Elizabeth Dame.
Waylon Phipps.
Caitlin Marie Danforth.
Brianna Brichette.
Johnny Tang.
Mackenzie Marie Pike.
Jesse Raymond Daniel.
Exon Panacho.
Tania Marie Daniels.
Roy Tyree Pinder.
Natalie Marie Daker.
Jose Pinella.
Noelle Catherine Dankert.
Caitlin Poplatnik.
Tucker Darnell.
Ryan Holt.
Emily Elizabeth Dara.
Amy Catherine Polovich.
Reagan Lynn Davenport.
Megan Pope.
Caleb Isaac Davies.
Cody Porter.
Isabella Davila.
Jasper Porter.
Alexis Mariah Davis.
Nathan Potter.
Cooper Davies.
Ashley Pratt.
Lydia Marie Davis.
Julia Maggie Pratt.
Mariah Dawn Davis.
Caden Pratt.
Stephen Blake Davis.
Satrina Pratt.
Cortland Dawson.
David Breer.
Riley Ann Day.
Ed Paige Pruitt.
Jared Brian Dean.
Samuel Thomas Pribble.
Natalia Delgado.
Morgan Alexis Price.
Austin DeLeese.
Preston Pretty.
Drew Anderson Denny.
Ryan Prometheus.
Jaden Derricott.
Tyler Proctor.
Chandler Lane Detheridge.
James Pruitt.
William Devo.
William Bucket.
Stockton Ryder DeWitt.
Mason Putnam.
Kendall Dial.
Dylan Queen.
Oscar Anthony Diaz.
Clayton Quinn.
Andrew Diaz de Leon.
Samantha Julian Quintana Areno.
Kylie Lynn Dickerson.
Danny Quintanilla.
Madeline Emma Dickerson.
Roxana Quintero.
Whitney Elise Debo.
Adrian Rodriguez.
Rachel Renee Dillard.
Gabriela Ramirez.
Grant Taylor Dixon.
Ismael Ramirez.
Omega Dixon.
Alexis Ramos.
Samantha Rachel Dixon.
Kevin Ramos.
Nathaniel Dodson.
Megan Rashid.
Austin Matthew Dudwell.
Lauren Rathman.
Amanda Donald.
Noah Ray.
Adrian Donato.
Andrew Reed.
Faith Nicole Dorsey.
Brett Reckinger.
Spencer Paul Dowdican.
Mackenzie Reed.
Alexis Douglas.
Malaya Reed.
Cassidy Nicole Delfit.
Maggie Reed.
Jordan Downs. Tyler Downham.
Ashley Margarita Regis.
Jordan Drake.
Brianna Regner.
Jordan McKenzie Drake.
Kaylee Renfro.
Michaela Diane Dreiling.
Megan Rice.
Alexis Renee Drill.
Jeffrey Riddle.
Javen DuBose.
Allison Ridgway.
William Hunter Dewar.
Stephen Riggs.
Tucker Joseph Dunlap.
Elizabeth Ring.
James Christopher Dudon.
Adriana Thais Rivera.
Bernardo Duran Fonseca.
Dylan Rivera.
Tiger Durham.
Max Robertson.
Logan Scott Dyer.
Jordan Ray Robinson.
Brianna Nicole Earnhardt.
Joshua Robinson.
Malia Danielle Eastman.
Joshua Krishan Andre Robinson.
Brandon Scott Everly.
Madeline Robinson.
Alexa Danielle Edison.
Mason Robinson.
Autumn Dawn Edmondson.
Ian Robinson.
Acklin Edwards.
Jenna Roderick.
Jalen Terrell Edwards.
Brittany Rogers.
Logan Easton Edwards.
Gabriela Rodriguez.
Lauren Ashley Edwards.
Marlene Rodriguez.
Mackenzie Rose Egger.
Michaela Rolfe.
Ajim Patel.
Morgan Nicole Rollo.
Bailey Jordan Ellis.
Alyssa Romero.
Cheyenne Jean Ellington.
Haley Renee Root.
Logan Shane Emberton.
Marco Rosales.
Brittany K. Engelking.
Ian Michael Rosario.
Micah Lee English.
Christina Rosinski.
Kyle Logan Ennis.
Kylie Ross.
Angela Felice Rojas Enrique.
Peyton Ross.
Kaylee Faith Ernston.
Zeke Roselle.
Irene Eru.
Diego Rubalcaba.
Marina Escarino.
Patrick Rudd.
Mariah Rosa Espinosa.
Mario Ruiz.
Michael Thomas Estes.
Louise Rupert.
Scott Daniel Etter.
Jacob Russell.
Allison Marie Evans.
Shay Russell.
Claire Machen Evans.
Aralise Salas.
Kristen Lee Evans.
Abdullah Salim.
Taylor Kathleen Evans.
Corinne Rourke Sawyers.
Jade Orion Everett.
Nicolette Salyers.
Damian Everett Jr.
Jory Thomas Sample.
Cade Evans.
Nathan Samuel.
Joseph Albert Farina.
Demara Sanders.
Nicholas Evan Featheringill.
Hannah Sanders.
Chandler Blake Feeler.
Kayla Nalia Faith Sanders.
Mackenzie Rose Feltner.
Kendall Sanders.
Jediah J.D. Thankley.
Landon Sandridge.
Gabriella Reese Fisher.
Benjamin Sanford.
Madison Fishing Hawk.
Braden Sansalone.
Avery Nicole Fitzpatrick.
Riley Samola. Brady Scanlon.
Skylar Elizabeth May Flanagan.
Haley Schneider.
Christopher John Fleming.
Tyler Schomer.
Alina Renee Buckler.
Mackenzie Schweers.
Brooklyn Desiree Forbes.
Kale Scott.
Jaden Matthew Perry Ford.
Demarion Scott.
Shelby Ford.
Haley Aaron Scott.
Danielle Landon Foster.
Caitlin Scott.
Ashley Nicole Fuquay.
Leslie Ann Scott.
Jared Richard Fox.
Tyler Scott.
William Aaron Fox.
Abigail Denise Seals.
Brooke Nicole Frago.
Brett Sedlock.
Bethany Rose Francis.
Brielle Nicole Selleck.
Cole Riddle Franklin.
Morgan Selmeyer.
Dan Davis Frazier.
Dwayne Sells.
Jonathan French.
Austin Wade Drake Shahan.
Laura Elizabeth Frederick.
Derek Shaw.
Alyssa Danielle Froming.
Ramez Shawareb.
Joshua David Frorib.
Brandon Troy Shelley.
Avery Caroline Fry.
Jonathan Shepard.
Ivy Folk.
Katie Noel Shepard.
McKaylee Joe Fuller.
Jackson Shepard.
Taylor Denise Fullerton.
Seth Ray Shepard.
Kelsey Renee Gallick.
Daniel Shepard.
Veronica Golster.
Chase Scheidler.
Rayleigh Brooke Gamble.
Shelby Schaffner.
David Alejandro Ganem.
Bailey Showmaker.
Andrea Paola Garcia.
Madison Schrum.
Jacob Manuel Garcia.
Macy Schultz.
Jonathan Garcia.
Matthew Silk.
Michaela Faith Garcia.
Andrew Singletary.
Luis Garcia. Ashlyn McKenzie Gardia.
Emily Sisney.
Andrea Michelle Garrett.
Megan Elizabeth Skates.
Ryan Liam Garrett.
Trevor James Skinner.
Austin James Gregory Garrison.
Brianna Morgan Slate.
Josie Morgan Garrison.
Jonathan Slater.
Crystal Ann Garza.
Matthew Slavens.
Trey Michael Goff.
Ryan Lee Sloan.
Austin Gaylord.
Ryan Michael Smelser.
Lauren Nicole Geggy.
Adam Wade Noel Smith.
Ashlyn Gentry.
Benjamin Smith.
Caroline Grace George.
Krista Hope Smith.
Valerie Ann Garrier.
Desiree Smith.
Cameron Luke Gibson.
Major Smith.
Brian Douglas Gibson.
Jacob Smith.
Chance Gregory Gifford.
Caleb Smith.
Ian Michael Gift.
Landon Trent Smith.
Jonathan Rex Giles.
Lauren Smith.
Cole Michael Gillian.
Leanne Smith.
Victoria Lynn Gilliam.
Luke Smith.
Emily May Gillen.
Madeline Rose Smith.
Chase Connor Gilling.
Sean Michael Mack Smith.
Savannah Givens.
Skylar McLean Smith.
Emmanuel Godinez.
Taylor Brooke Smith.
Hannah Renee Marie Godinez.
Elijah Snyder.
Eric Gomez.
Anaisa Solano.
Bailey Brooke Gonzalez.
Natalie Sontag.
Ariel Gonzalez.
Taylor Ray Mariah Faith Sewell.
David Gonzalez.
Nikolai Spazov.
Devin Michelle Goral.
Catherine Riley Spencer.
Savannah Ann Gobler.
Scott Spencer.
Kaylee J. Graham.
Caitlin Speth.
Lauren Cicely Graham.
Kylie Spire.
Cameron Blade Graves.
Jordan Sprinkle.
Jacob Benjamin Gray.
Kendall Spires.
Jaden Patricia Gray.
Sarah Stacy.
Najia Alantris Linquay Green.
Chancellor Stafford.
Brittany Greenhall.
Nicole Marie Stafford.
Britton Ryan Greenlee.
Cameron Stalkup.
Nathan Schuyler Grinninger.
Sierra Stem.
Matthew Wayne Griffin.
Caleb Stanton.
Derek Griffin.
Garrett Steelman.
Kayla Elaine Griffin.
Seth Austin Stevens.
Jalen Griggs.
Tiffany Renee Stevens.
Noah Scott Grigsby.
Robert Stevens.
Scott Grimm.
Christopher Stevenson.
Nathaniel Grubbs.
Caitlin Stewart.
Victoria Groves.
Shelby Stiff.
Giacomo Guirinone.
Brevin Storm.
Jacqueline Goff.
Hannah Mariah Page Stout.
Christian Dwayne Guthrie.
Bailey Lynn Zoe Stover.
Amanda Jane Getting.
Adara Strimbolis.
Faith Guzman.
Adarius Strimbolis.
Skylar Hagan.
Hannah Strong.
Taylor Grace Hare.
Haley Strother.
Natasha Hall.
Dalton Stroick.
Josh Holden.
Connor Sutton.
Jaquan Hamer.
Ryan Sullivan.
Matthew Everett Hamilton.
Jackson Summers.
Abigail Hampton. Kyung Hoon Han.
Rogan Summers.
Ethan Hancock.
Cameron Faye Sumner.
Jade Haley.
Griffin Sutterfield.
Amy Catherine Hannerwinkle.
Landon Allen Settle.
Buchi Hong.
Ethan Sutton.
Kiara Faith Hansen.
Courtney Nicole Schwarzenberg.
Chloe Harden.
Kate Ryan Sikora.
Elvin James Hardwick.
Kaylee Cheyenne Talbot.
Russell Harder.
James Taylor.
Grayson Thomas Harmon.
Jason Dylan Taylor.
Jasmine Nicole Harris.
Mariah Taylor.
Logan Cole Harris.
Emily Taylor Pugh.
Megan Harrison.
Nathaniel Martin Turnius.
Kylie Reagan Hart.
Yasmin Texera.
Christina Hartley. Hassan Sunny Hassan.
Talia Powell Pantonga.
Lauren Hassel.
Mason Tharp.
Ruthann Nicole Hawkins.
Amore Thomas.
Caitlin Hall.
Braden Thomas.
Cole Frederick Haynes.
Caitlin Thomas.
Haley Dawn Hayes.
Max Alexander Thomas.
Kenley Ryan Hayes.
Emmett Gray Thompson.
Roger Cecil Hayes.